In the course of human history, there were three great revolutions. The cognitive revolution of around 70,000 years ago, where humans developed advanced language and began thinking in concepts. The agricultural revolution 12,000 years ago, where we began domesticating plants and animals and started to cultivate our own crops. And only 500 years ago, the scientific revolution, where mathematics, physics, astronomy, biology and chemistry began to take shape and transform the ways in which we approach reality. During the agricultural years, people lived in small, intimate communities as collective units. Today, the emergence of modern science has actually reshaped society into a much more individualistic one. And what most people don't know is that individualism is historically a very recent phenomenon. To understand how the trend of individualism evolved, let's go back in time. Imagine you were living in medieval times during the agricultural ages. There were no banks, no schools, no hospitals, radio or television, newspapers, factories or shopping malls. You were forced to work in the family business and marry the person your family chose. You didn't spend much time wondering how to dress or grooming yourself or choosing your favorite working tools. Personal preferences and desires were rarely given any real importance, and you didn't experience a strong sense of individuality. If you were to bring an individual from the medieval times into our present reality, he would think human beings have become complete lunatics. Not simply because our technology would be so confusing, but mostly because our behavior is so self-centered. An example that most of us can relate to is how just a decade ago, taking selfies was a relatively strange and narcissistic thing to do. But no more than just several generations ago, families and intimate communities were the basic building blocks of all human societies. If you fell sick, your family would take care of you. If you wanted to start a business, it would be a family undertaking and they'd all together raise the money for it. When something was too serious or demanding, the local community came to the rescue. The Industrial Revolution changed all of that. It slowly decreased the need for support from families and local communities as the state and market started taking over many of their functions. Because with the Industrial Revolution came, among other things, factories, where individuals could make a living independently. As years went by, state and market gained even more power, further weakening our traditional bonds. We were presented with an offer that could not be refused. You can work on whatever you want, marry whomever you desire, and live wherever you wish. You are no longer dependent on your family or community. We, the state and market, will take care of you instead. If you want to study a profession, we have schools to teach you. If you want to open a business, the bank will loan you money. If you are sick for a few days, health insurance takes care of you. State and market became our mother and father, and we as their children could only survive thanks to their support. But soon enough, we started to feel alienated as we were still used to the emotional bonds from our families and communities. Our urge to experience a sense of togetherness was no longer fulfilled in the same way, but consumer trends began to take care of this. We started building our identities around celebrities, football teams, music bands, fashion, and more, and we spend our time and money on them. Again and again, we kept striving to be part of communities that validated us for who we think we are, not realizing that this flawed sense of identity was never defined by us, but rather by a cultural construct that evolved through history.